Get ready with me to dress as Lady Scarlet Nightshade. The first thing that I'm going to do is pin back my hair. There is no particular pattern that this goes in. It's literally just putting it up. And this is the first time that I've done it since I did the wolf cut. So I am looking forward to having my little pin curl swirlies much smaller and a little less voluminous than they were since the last time I did this. So I don't have a whole lot of rhyme or reason to how I do this. The only thing that I will say is that I like to take my hairline back as much as possible so it can all go underneath the wig cap. And another important part of this is that the bulk of it goes in the crown of your head, especially for Lady Scarlet, because her hat helps me get rid of a lot of bulk. This is one of the reasons why I went for silver hair this time in the front, because I had a friend a long time ago named Kenny. He's now since passed away, but he taught me that when you're styling wigs, if you have the same hair color as the wig you're using, you can incorporate your own hairline into the front to make it even look more natural. And when I had the green, I noticed that I had a lot of problems with disguising it, and I ended up putting a lot of makeup inside my hairline all the time. So the silver is part of my effort to make whatever wig I'm using on that particular day even less noticeable. One of the things I love so much about doing pin curls underneath the wig, as opposed to doing like the two braids and you put them across your head. I mean, that's great for quick and every day, but if you're only going to be in it for a few hours, I like doing heatless curls. And at the end of the night, when you let it all out, you get all these amazing spiral curls. And since my hair is stick straight, I love the amount of volume that gives me. You see all these little ends sticking out? I'm not too worried about the ends sticking out because it's all gonna be at the crown the way that I've designed this. Another great unintentional benefit of pinning your hairline back really tight is that it gives you a facelift too. I'm also trying to be careful to not put my headphones in and like pin my headphones into my hair. At least not just yet. I'll put those on again when I'm all done and I have the rest of the costume on. But when I get further back in here, you can either keep twisting and do a bunch of twisties, or you can braid. It just depends on what you're looking for, but they can get thicker too. At least for me, I like to do them a little thicker as I get further back in my head. Save the silver ones specifically to do this wig. And again, all that bulk goes up at the crown, at the back as well. I am filming some things from the back tonight, so I have to be careful of getting all of my little baby hairs. I do normally have a mirror back here for doing the back of my head, but I took it down so that I could film for you guys. Now I'm back to some nice thick pieces in the back of my head, so I'm moving in with these larger bobby pins. And I've been doing this for years and years, since I was a teenager. So I've kind of got it down now. I know my own scalp, my own hair enough to just be able to just throw it up without looking at it. You get this nice thick rope back here, which is going to turn out to be this awesome like body wave kind of a bun back there. Okay, my hair is as pinned up as it's going to get. Here we go. So that's pinned up pretty good. Now you notice I have a couple of stragglers. That's just my headphones, don't worry about it. Next comes the wig cap. If you prefer the fishnet ones, which I do typically prefer the fishnet ones, I just don't happen to have one that's flesh toned right now. So all I have is solid black. And the ear flaps and the netting of that particular wig is black, so I need to cover it up, so I don't want to add to it. So I'm just gonna go for the bald look. So here's my pro tip. Get yourself a chopstick or a hair stick. If you have all of this scraggly stuff sticking out, or if your hairline is peeking through your wig cap, take a stick and go under the perimeter of your wig cap. And for extra staying power, you spray it down with your hairspray. Pull it back, hold this up front, pull it back real good. And you have all this extra excess. Again, direct all of that extra bulk towards the crown so that it's as comfortable as possible on your head. And all of that bulk is getting hidden by the top hat anyway. So my secret weapon. So it's gonna help all of those wispies and all their baby hairs and your sideburns, your extra hairline, all go underneath. For extra oomph, depending on what color of wig you're wearing, you can use that dollar store colored hairspray to cover up your roots even more in the front if you have an issue with that. You can also use root touch-up spray. And now this one is brown. This is for another piece of content. I got that, but also Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has root cover-up spray that works just fine. So now I'm gonna give my scalp a chance to get used to how tight this is and take a little bit of a break, put in my contact lenses so that I can continue on with the rest of the look. Contacts are in. My scalp is getting used to being tightened down a little bit. My eyes are getting adjusted to my contact prescription, and I'm using the Carpe Lasting Matte Sweat Proof Primer with the SPF, which is it's still such an interesting product to me. But I have to tell you, with everything that I've tried out this summer, especially since it's still really warm in my filming room right now, the sweat-proof property of this is going to really come in handy. Also, I am extremely, extremely grateful that Lady Scarlet is only from the neck up. And the rest of her is covered by a bunch of jewelry and a bunch of necklaces and lace and leather and all kinds of cool things. But look at that, like just with applying the primer, look at how different my skin texture is. It just blurs everything. It's wild. I love this stuff. Like, honestly, if you haven't gotten it already, go and get it. It's on my TikTok shop. You can support me, you can support another favorite creator of yours, whatever, but this stuff is really, really good. Just check it out. It's called Carpe Sweat Absorbing Lasting Matte SPF Primer, and it comes in a fair and a darker tone base. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of like a tinted moisturizer, but a mousse formula. It's really interesting, and it really does work. It's my go-to for being under hot lights. Typically, I use a brightening primer for Lady Scarlet because I want her to have that like dewy, glowy, lives at the mouth of a cave, but is also a vampire that actually sparkles kind of a thing going, like that kind of a vibe to her skin. So like undead, but also not, like that whole thing. But because I'm using a mattifying primer tonight, I am switching it up to do a shimmer. It's almost like a satin finish foundation, and I'm going to be finishing it up with kind of like a shimmery finishing spray when we're all done with the whole look. Guys, I messed up. I'm not using that shimmery satiny finish foundation at all. It's too dark. And then I doubly messed up because I forgot that I got a color corrector primer color mixer. So, oops. But anyway, fair contour is done. I'm pretty happy with how the contour came out. So now I'm going to bake this. I'm feeling very, very warm. It's starting to get hot in here, so I am gonna take a little bit of a break, let all this set. And now that I've done all my creams, we're gonna come back through and lighten everything to give it that extremely pale, extremely fair, like goth contour that Lady Scarlet hangs her hat on. All right, I feel sufficiently baked, so we're gonna just wipe off the excess with one of the fluffiest brushes that we own. If you're interested in what this one is, this is the Ultimate Powder Brush from Real Techniques. It's the number 219. This one is super, super fluffy. Excellent. It's basically a long-handled kabuki brush. I love this thing. So now in order to do the powder contouring, I use the cremated palette from Jeffree Star. I love this thing. And it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. I'm going to show you how to hollow out your cheeks in about 30 seconds. Watch. Suck the inside of your cheeks in. And then get a flat brush, okay? Here are a couple of examples. Here's my SpongeBob brush. I love this brush. That one is great for under chin contour. And then this one does the exact same thing, just with a smaller, right? You can also use an eyeshadow brush. You can use a concealer brush, like anything that's really flat like this. And you trace where your cheek sucks in. And for Scarlet, it's a combination of a couple of these really, really fair, light, ashy, like quite literally like ash colors. My favorites in this palette for Lady Scarlet's contour, or any fair contour really, are the shade Last Respects and Life Insurance. So I just pat a little bit. See, it literally looks like I ran my brush through firewood soot, or maybe cremation, I don't know. See that? Very light touch. You're just doing one edge of the flat. And you just trace what you naturally got. And then we're gonna make a triangle right here. You know, I love to work in triangles. And then to blend it, I'm taking that line, I'm taking the clean end of that flat brush and going down, 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 down. That was two very, very light dips. And you see that? I'm not sucking in anymore. Watch, I'll suck in. Now I'm gonna get in with a gray color. So I'm gonna use Life Insurance, which is right next to Last Respects in the palette. And we're gonna get that really, really deep inside. I'm gonna go underneath the line I just made. And into the triangle. Not, okay, sucking in, not sucking in. See that? You can go even deeper if you want to. If you're gonna be on really garish stage lights, or if you're gonna be under your ring light, same exact thing. I mean, this looks very, very natural, but also see how she looks very sunken in now? And then I'm gonna go into life insurance and last respects, just a little tiny bit of each one. Just like that, just like that. I'm gonna take advantage of the edge of the brush again, and I'm gonna go in this divot in my eye socket and down the side of my nose. See that? Boom. And I take advantage of the flat edge and create a flat edge in my nose. Because I have kind of a wider nose. And from this side profile, it's very long with a ski slope nose. So I want to take advantage of that ski slope shape. Something that I've learned as a makeup artist, graphic designer in the theater over the years, Disney animators taught us all very well. Villains are angular. Heroes and heroines have rounded edges. Villains have sharp edges. She's a little bit of both, so we take advantage of a little bit of both in certain places in the face. That. If you get the gumption to practice this a little more as you go on, you're going to get better and better at it. Everybody starts somewhere. There. See that? So you can still see it's gray. It's literally the cremated palette. There's a gray. It's a very neutral, but it's a very cool tone neutral, which is going to balance beautifully with all of that warm scarlet red and brown and brass that Lady Scarlet wears. Before I go into the eyelid, I'm going to apply my eyeshadow primer. And this, I'm about to hit pan on. I'm very, very excited. I'm about to hit the bottom of this tube. I've had this tube forever. But what I do when I have an older product like this that I am trying to get rid of, I put it on my hand first and I warm it up on my hand, and it makes it really warm and spreadable and nice. Kind of revitalizes the product before you put it on your eyes or on your face. You can do this with concealer. You can do this with an ultra thick cream product. Put it on your hand first and warm it up on your hand. And then I just do a finger application to keep it warm and tap it right into my eye, all over the lid, all over my eye socket, all up into the orbital bone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. She is primed. Ready for prime time. Now's the really fun part. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna reveal this one on camera. I'll see you in a little while. Well, here she is, all finished up. I've got all of my lighting all set up, like everything is all ready to go. One of these days, I will have the energy to give you a tutorial, but right now I'm not gonna reveal all my secrets. We're gonna give it a little final spritz of my finishing spray. So it all looks like skin again. So the next thing is going to be putting on the clothing, right? Putting on the costume. And then we're going to be doing the, let's see, the wig is one of the things that comes last, almost second to last. Once I put on the contacts and the fangs, and I have everything all set where I know I don't need my phalanges anymore, then I will put on the press-on nails, and then it will be time to hit the record button and make this content for you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little get ready with me, and I hope you have a fantastic day, night, whatever you are doing. Love you to the ocean's edge. See you on YouTube.